Hi guys and welcome back. It's been a while, I know, but I'm back and I'm showing you how to make this really quick and easy Valentine's Day cake. Let's begin. So to start the cake, you'll want to place your butter and your sugar into your mixing bowl of choice and beat them together until they are lighter and fluffier in colour and consistency. And once you've achieved that, scrape down the sides and the bottom of your bowl to incorporate any bits that may not have been fully worked in from earlier on. So next you'll want to add in your eggs, one at a time, beating well in between each addition. You will notice that the consistency will change as you add in more liquid, it will become looser. Don't worry, this is completely normal, and if the mixture does scramble a little bit, just add in a small amount of your weighed out flour. You can then scrape down the sides and the bottom of your bowl again, just to incorporate anything that may not have been fully worked in. So next you can add in your dry ingredients, passing them through a sieve first. A full write-up and all the ingredients, baking times and measurements will be over on my blog, and there'll be a link to that in the description down below. So you can mix in the dry ingredients on a low speed to start and add in a touch of the milk and mix it in and continue mixing and incorporating the milk until it's fully incorporated. You'll notice a change in the batter as it will become one solid colour and the consistency will become more cake battery. You can then start to weigh it up and divide it between your cake tins. So when it comes to weighing out the cake, I like accuracy, so I weigh the total amount of cake batter and divide that by 3 and put it into my cake tins and then level them off as best as I can using an offset spatula. All the baking times, temperatures and everything you need to know will be in the blog post, which I'll link down below. So for the buttercream, you'll want to get a small saucepan and place in your granulated white sugar and the water and just give these to a brief mix to incorporate them together. You can then place this on the hob until it reaches 121 degrees Celsius, and into your mixing bowl add in your egg yolks and your whole egg and just whisk the two together until they are very well combined. You'll notice as the colour and consistency will change, it will become lighter in colour and pretty thick in consistency. The volume of the mixture will also increase. This is completely normal, so don't worry. So once the sugar and water mix has reached 121 degrees Celsius, you can then pour it into your mixing bowl over a low speed just to incorporate it into the mixture. And then crank it up to high to cool the mixture down. You'll be able to touch the bottom of the bowl. Once it's cool enough, you can start adding in your butter and add it in as much or as little at a time. The consistency will go a little bit gloopy and then will thicken up and look a lot more like this. Don't worry, it does look scrambled, but it isn't. So once all the butter has been incorporated, you can then give the bowl a good scraping down just to incorporate any bits that may not have been fully worked in from earlier on. So next you'll want to add in the Nutella, and I found that 200 grams was the perfect amount, and this pot was exactly 200 grams, but feel free to use slightly more and don't use the cocoa powder. But I also added some cocoa powder to help with the colouring of the buttercream as well as the flavour. You'll then want to mix it on a slow speed to start, working your way up to a medium-high speed until everything is smooth and fully worked in. So to assemble the cake, you'll want to get yourself a cake stand or a cake plate and place a small amount of buttercream into the middle, placing the first layer of cake on and just pressing it down to secure it in place. Then you can add a generous amount of the buttercream on top of that, and then you'll want to level it off as best as you can or smooth it out using a small offset or cramped palette knife, and then you'll want to do this for the remaining layers of your cake. So you'll notice that I changed cake stands, and this is because the silver one wasn't working for me and my trusty old glass one did work. On the left you'll see me applying the crumb coat, and on the right you'll see me applying the final coat. I thought I'd do it this way as it gets both aspects done without having to drag out the video any longer. So in between applying the crumb coat and the final coat, you'll want to chill it in the fridge for around half an hour to 45 minutes or an hour at the longest. So to make the ganache drip, you'll want to get yourself a small saucepan and place in your double cream and place this over a medium heat on the hob. Then you'll want to pour it over your chocolate and allow it to sit for around a minute before you do anything to it. Once the cream and the chocolate have been sitting for around a minute, you can start stirring it using a teaspoon. It will come together and will go this yellowish colour. I then add in some Christmas red food colouring and it goes this beautiful pink colour, and this is the colour I wanted for the cake. I then take that chocolate and I start to drip it around the edge of the cake using my spoon and just spreading it out so the drips are more equally spaced out, but feel free to use a squeezy bottle if that's what you want to use. For the best effect, space your drips out equally and give them different lengths, some shorter, some longer. This works really well. So to finish the cake, it's completely up to you, but I added some meringue kisses on top and then just pipe some of the buttercream on either side and behind the meringues. This is optional. I then finished the cake with some chocolate chips around the edge and finished that off with a generous sprinkle of glitter. The glitter I used was edible, so if you are using glitter, make sure it is edible and be careful because normal glitter is made with plastic and you don't want to be consuming plastic at all. And then as a final finish, I get some red sugar paste or fondant and roll it out so it's pretty thin. Then I get a little heart cutter and just cut out a few hearts to place on and around the cake. I place the hearts where there's some gaps, so under the drips or in between them, and this just helps to fill it out and add a pop of colour, but feel free to leave this stage out completely. So here is what the cake looks like once it's completely done. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more from me. I'll be back again next week with another video, so join me then. Check out my social medias, check out all the links in the description down below. Everything you need to know will be down there. And until next week, bye guys.